Jackson Browne. Jackson Browne Running on Empty. More specifically, Running on Empty was released in 1977 and it's Jackson Browne's fourth album. Now, I almost said fourth studio album there. This is one of those things, it's a live album that isn't a live album, or it's a studio album that isn't a studio album, if you get what I mean. This was all recorded live, but not all in a concert setting. It isn't a case of taking a load of recording equipment to a load of gigs and then picking the best versions and putting them all out as a live album. What happened with this is that the tracks were recorded, in some cases they were recorded live at gigs, in other they were recorded in hotel rooms, or they were recorded in corridors or rehearsal rooms, or all sorts of, whilst Jackson Browne and his touring band were on tour. So it wasn't a case of all going into a recording studio, sitting down and recording 10 tracks for an album. It was a case of recording periodically over the period of the tour and then taking those recordings and turning them into an album afterwards. Sounds like a bit of a wacky idea, but it makes sense, doesn't it? I suppose if you think about it, you're doing a massive tour and you've got to find the time to go and make another album, because don't forget, in those days, we're talking 1977 here, an artist had to put an album out every year, otherwise they'd fall by the wayside. There was none of this waiting around 3 years and living on one album for all that time. You've got to get in there, you've got to tour every year, you've got to put an album out every year to make sure that you kept your position where you were. Even the big bands and the top people, they had to do that. If you look back through discographies, you don't see great big 3-4 year gaps for many bands in the 60s, 70s and 80s, because they just couldn't afford to be out of the public eye for that long. So that may well be the reason why Jackson Browne decided to do this. But it's a pretty brave idea, but I suppose it has got a lot of sense to it, because, like I just said before, there's a time constraints, but also, if you're going to be playing live every night, then you've got to be thinking that your voice and everything is going to be pretty much on sort of form while you're playing, and so you're recording at that time as well. That's sort of going to be good. Getting the time to come up with the ideas and stuff is a different thing altogether. And maybe you'd think that maybe you'd got some of the songs already prepared before they went off, with just writing as well while performing every night and then doing all this recording stuff. It would have been a bit of a difficult thing to do. But anyway, it didn't do the album any harm, because it's generally regarded as one of Jackson Browne's best albums. In fact, it was not only nominated for a Grammy that year, but it actually won it as well. Everybody's aware of Jackson Browne, one of the great American sort of singer-songwriters. His songs were covered by everybody. Really, Take It Easy by the Eagles is a song that was on his first album, which everybody will know. Anyway, looking at this, the title track, Running on Empty, is the first track. That was recorded live in Maryland, and the second track, then The Road, this shows you how diverse it gets. The second track, The Road, was recorded in room 301 at the Cross Keys Inn in Columbia. How about that? I mean, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? And then the third track, Rosie, was recorded backstage in a big rehearsal room, it says, and then they got the tour photographer to sing harmony on it. So it's great. I mean, it just gives you an idea. It's almost like a party type thing. Then you go to the fourth track, You Love the Thunder. That was recorded in a live gig as well. Then Cocaine, that was recorded in room 124 of the Holiday Inn, with the next track, Shaky Town, recorded in room 124 of the Holiday Inn again. So that was had a good session that night. Then the next one after that, Love's Needs a Heart. Well, that was recorded live in California. And that gives you an idea. I mean, there's some of them, it says they were recorded on a bus somewhere in New Jersey. I mean, can you imagine that? Your bus is it moving? I don't know. Somebody's going to look into this a bit more. Maybe somebody already has. I don't know. I mean, was the bus moving? I don't know. I mean, is it going through the traffic while they're all recording, or was it parked up? You can imagine it parked up in a parking lot somewhere, and some traffic warden tat-tatting on the window. Oi, you can't park and record songs here, mate. That's what happened over here, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. So Jackson Browne has got a massive, massive catalogue. Tons and tons of some great songs on it. It's one of those people that constantly put out a good album, a solid album every year. Just getting into waffle mode there. Maybe it's time for me to get on the bus and do something else. But yeah, Running on Empty, Jackson Browne, 1977, Grammy-winning album, well worth a listen.